101.1 KRMD. Hey guys, Mason in the morning, broadcasting live right now on Facebook and YouTube. It's a big day. It's a big day. You can find us facebook.com/KRMD Mason. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search for Mason in the morning. We should pop up right there. I'm excited about this because it's football season, and I got a special guest right there. If you guys can see him, if you can't see him, go find us on Facebook and give us a like and give Coach Reynolds Moore from Benton High School a like. What's going on, Coach?
Not much, man. Just getting ready for football this week. Like you said, it's an exciting time.
Yeah, very exciting time. First week, I know you guys had the Jamboree just last week. My daughter's actually in the Benton marching band, so she was out there marching for you guys and cheering you guys on, getting her stand tunes ready to get you pumped up.
That's it.
So I'm excited, and I'll be out there tonight to watch the big game. And, I wanted to hear from you, hear what you're thinking so far this season, how the team's doing, players to watch, that kind of thing. So what are we looking at? How's the team looking?
Yeah, I think we've got a chance to be pretty good. We had a really good season last year. I think probably surprised a lot of people and maybe overachieved. I think, going down to Barb week 2, beating a perennial 5A playoff team at their place was a huge deal. And, of course, that first win against Northwood last year was probably one of the biggest wins we've had in a long time. They're a really good football team, and so it was a physical game. I think we won like 12-7. It was just a battle the whole time, and I expect the same thing this year. And so, but then we beat Hahnville in the first round of the playoffs, and that game really was like a second round or a quarterfinal type matchup. And so to get that win in an extremely physical game against an always good football team in Hahnville was really big for our program. First win in 5A. Playoffs, so that was a really big deal for our guys to get. And this year, kind of in the offseason, I think the very next day or very next week, Coach Smith, our offensive coordinator, Terrence Smith, tweeted out, I think I shared something, some kid got an award or something. He just said, now it's time to take the next step. And so that's kind of been our mantra this offseason and going into this fall is that, hey, that was great. 8 wins is a big deal. Playoff wins a big deal, but it's not enough. And we want to get to where we're a quarterfinal, semifinal, state championship type team in 5A. And so we want to take the next step. And so that's kind of where we're headed. We've got a lot of seniors coming back, a lot of guys who have played a lot of football, which bodes well for us. But at the same time, in some very, very key spots, we've got some young guys and or inexperienced guys. And so those are sort of question marks. We had some answers in the Jamboree last week. And then we've got some that are going to work themselves out as the year goes on. They're going to continue to get better. Hopefully, it's kind of if we can do our job coaching, right, they'll get better. But so you still don't know what to expect from some of them, but I really feel like we've got a chance to be very, very good. We've been known for playing very, very sound football, physical football, and I think that's if you can give a lot of effort, give great effort, and avoid some costly mistakes, I think you can win a lot of football games. And so we're hoping that stays true this year for us.
That sounds good. As far as balance this year, you guys offensive heavy, defensive heavy? What are you guys thinking?
Well, I think we have the ability to score a lot of points. You got a 3-year starter and quarterback with Gray Walters. Played a lot of football. Pierce Russell as a receiver. Pierce broke the school record for receiving yards in a season last year, and he's a couple hundred yards away from breaking the career record here. So that'll very likely happen midseason or so, I think. But maybe sooner. He's got a chance to put up some big yards. And Pierce is an incredible football player. Then Andy Lim is on the other side. Andy's a tight end, type wide receiver, big kid. He's about 195, about 6'1" or so. And very, very physical blocker inside, but can run outside too. Brady Blaylock's come out, baseball player in center field. Can really take the top off the defense right there and really get downfield. He's kind of a burner. And then Jeffrey King's our backup quarterback, but is a great athlete. So we actually bumped him out to receiver as well because he's one of our best athletes and best receivers. So we've got a great receiving core. The 5th and 6th guys we think are still pretty good. You got a great guy quarterback who's going to lead the way. And then we got a 1,000-yard rusher in Greg Manning. They call him Tutta. Tutta's coming back for his junior year, rushed for 1,000 yards as a sophomore. And Ethan Johnson with him in the backfield. So we've got a lot of weapons we think that we can do well with. We do have offensive lineman Cam McCormick's our center. be a 3-year starter there. He's done a great job. And Caleb Tree and Travis Flowers on the outside on the left side are both returning starters. And so we got to solidify that right side. Our guys there, one of them, our right guard, graduated last year as a 4-year starter. Our right tackle is a 3-year starter. So got to replace that. That's going to be a big question mark, how those guys perform. But on the defensive side, we feel really good about that too. I think Zach Halbert and Sawyer Simmons really lead the way. Zach just committed to SAU, play football there next year. He has put on about 35 pounds this offseason. Played last year at 160 and 162 and was a wrecking ball, was the Bossier Parish defensive MVP for the Bossier Press. And he comes back at about 195, almost 200 right now, really put the work in. Sawyer's leading the back end of our defense. And so we feel like on the back end with Sawyer right there, with Landon Dugan at corner, another senior returning for us. And then our linebackers, Cole Weir and Zach and Benny Walters, Josh Sanchez, we feel like they're going to be the heartbeat of our defense. We've got some D linemen that are first-year starters. I don't think we return a single starter up front there on the defensive line. That's a big question mark for us. And so we got to be able to stop the run or it's going to be a long season. And so we'll see how they do. And certainly they're going to be tested against Northwood, and we'll find out how good they can stop the run, how well they can stop the run soon.
So game 1 tonight, 7:00. Is that the key to the game, just stopping the run?
Yeah, I think really just getting lined up. I mean, look, they've got a quarterback, Mason Welch is actually he's a great kid. I've helped train him some in the off seasons, and he's an incredible young man, and he is tough as they come. I mean, he really is. Last year we beat that kid to death last year in the game, and he just kept getting up. I mean, at one point his whole body was cramping and he couldn't move, and he was still trying to. They had to make him get off the field. And so with that in mind, we know they got a warrior quarterback. I believe he's also a 3-year starter, just like Gray. And so he's going to bring a lot to the table, and they've got a ton of weapons as well. So that they're going to be able to run it. They're going to be able to throw it. And they're really good on defense too. And so we got our work cut out for us. I think really the key to the game is going to be, not giving up the big plays over and over again, making them actually drive the ball down the field. And then just keeping pace at some point. We feel like it's a game where we're probably not going to pitch a shutout. It's probably not going to be a 12-7 game again. If it's a close game, it's probably going to be a 42-37 game. It's going to be something up there. A lot of fun for the fans to watch. Probably a lot of headaches for both defensive coaches on both sides, I think. So could be a lot of fun, but probably I would expect it to be a highly contested game and probably probably a game that's in question up to the very end.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Tonight, first game of the season, 7:00. I'm going to be out there watching the team. So good luck to you guys. Go Tigers. My daughter's a Tiger, so I got to be a Tiger fan too. We're going to be talking to as many football coaches as we can this year. Anybody you want to call out, anybody you want to put on notice, there's nothing more than I like than getting people fired up about rivalries and doing a little trash talking.
You better be really good if you start calling people out. I feel like we're already marked sometimes, but I always like hearing from Jason Brother, and he's one of my good buddies in the business out of Halton. He does it well out there, and I'm sure he'd be a lot of fun. And then Coach Brown over at Northwood is always fun to listen to. And I mean, they've run the media circuit over there, man. Everybody's been through there, national guys, local guys, so he's well versed, and he'd probably be a good guest and an easy guest to get on. So
you're putting him on notice right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's had plenty of practice talking to the media. They film everything over there, so he ought to be well practiced and well rehearsed and easy to talk to.
All right, well, that sounds great. Once again, we're talking with Coach Reynolds Moore from Benton High School. The Fighting Tigers going on tonight, 7:00. Come out and say hey, and good luck once again. Thanks for talking with me.
Awesome. Thanks, Mason.